something better to offer than Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, promising middle-class tax cuts, lower prescription drug prices, and access to abortion. Greg Clugston at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago.
Also at SRNnews.com, speaking with Salem Radio Network, former Arizona Republican Congressman J.D. Hayworth says Democrats are trying to sell Americans a false promise with walls on the ticket.
It's very interesting to see the mindset of today's Democrat Party. The notion that somehow Tim Walz will appeal to rural America.
Former President Trump says Harris and Walz are no friends of law enforcement either.
She's always been for defunding the police, and the person that she's running with, Tim Walz, is equally far left. This is the most far left group. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Former president says the Biden-Harris administration, there's been a 43% increase in violent crime.
Including a 58% increase in rape, 89% increase in aggravated assault, and a 56% increase in robbery. The crime in America, the fact is out of control.
This is SRN News. An evangelical leader is urging Christians to vote.
Troy Miller is president and CEO of the National Religious Broadcasters, and he tells the Daily Caller that all believers need to get to the polls in November. Noting that millions of evangelicals did not vote in 2020, Miller says, quote, "As Americans, we are the stewards of a temporal home built on a foundation of faith to the best of its founders' abilities. We must do everything in our power to save America for the glory of God." Michael Harrington, SRN News.
Missouri residents will now need proof of surgery or a court order to change their gender on a driver's license. The state previously required approval from a doctor to update gender on state-issued ID. The change follows protest earlier this month against a man's use of a woman's locker room at a suburban St. Louis gym. A spokesman for the gym said the guy showed staff a copy of a driver's license that identified him as a woman. This is SRN News. There's a major dispute in Oregon over political activists.
The ACLU is suing the city of...
Good morning, everybody. Trying to get my...
...has been unlawfully monitoring political activists who are not suspected of any criminal activity. But the city insists it has not monitored the groups because of their views or activities, adding it has conducted surveillance to prepare for possible public safety impacts. ACLU says the Medford police had monitored their activities and social media accounts. Jason Walker reporting.
A number of Republican lawmakers in California are calling on Governor Gavin Newsom to put an electric vehicle fleet mandate on hold after an electric semi-truck caught on fire. They issued a letter Tuesday asking Newsom to delay a mandate that would require all big rigs be electric by 2045. More details at SRN News.
Let's make sure it is
in your own house. But now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's HomeAdvisor. HomeAdvisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that HomeAdvisor is completely free to use.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
HomeAdvisor. Looking for the right bank to be your partner? Experience the difference at Southern States Bank. At Southern States Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your partners.
Good morning, TYD. How you doing this morning? Guys, we've got Courtney Liso joining us. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Little Z, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you. Hello, Warrior Defenders. The Patriot 12. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you guys are at.
It's back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan. Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish dinners, open Monday through Saturday.
Hope everybody, Christopher, good day, good morning, good evening to you. Good, hello. Get it on here, guys. Get it up to where it was. Like we were the last few days.
31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan.
Nick Arnold here from Cowboy the Force. Cowboy the Force is
You actually got Lacey Peterson's story about the American murderer, but I didn't want you guys to think that that's what they were calling her.
And all of our information is available on our website. website at
The Patriot. I love it though.
It's scorching hot out there, friends. The best way to beat the heat is to stay hydrated.
I love it.
Penitentiary in Newton has got you covered.
Sounds
with
so
their
cool.
Amazing antioxidant alkaline water. Swing by for quick and easy drive-through pickup and check out their selection of health-boosting options. Stay cool, stay refreshed, stay healthy with Water Tree in
In the market for either buying or selling your home, City First Mortgage Service, LLC is the first place for all your needs. Branch Manager John D. Lewis and his staff can serve you with a smile and professional courtesy.
All right, let's see here.
Alabama, Florida, 770-598-0860. John D. Lewis, City First Mortgage Service, LLC. We place you first.
Are you
YMCA. YMCA.
How about one that offers great deals and new patient promotions?
Bob and Freddie. Okay.
Smiles in downtown Eatonton, Georgia.
What's up, Adventure Man? What's up, Adventure Man? Superhero name. He said, "What's up, goofball buddy? What's up?" All good, my friend. I appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday.
$100 off Zoom whitening treatment when you book today. Most valuable smiles in downtown Eatonton to lock in these exclusive deals.
Oh, it's Noble Scrolling Traveler. You changed your name. Okay. All right. I like the new name.
Its management or its clientele.
Hello, everyone. This is DJ Commando.
Always got to have a secret agent name, don't you, brother?
You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Newton, Georgia.
I tell you what, it's that time again, everybody. What's up? TGIT, Twisted True Crime Thursday. Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast joins us this morning. We got another unsolved homicide to help her solve in the final period, plus some true crime news to get you through the day. But first, it's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host of the most, the one, the only Ryan O'Neal, and Jack, come straight. I'm the game. 78,000 plus of you tell me that on the shoutcast every single morning and all day long. Thank you very much. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada. RyanORadio media page on iHeartRadio, Amazon Prime, and 25 other different broadcast stream sites, along with, of course, our friends at Earth Rock Radio, 25 different radio stations, including real and internet, on the Navajo Nation, New Mexico, Arizona, out there in Iowa, Idaho, and everywhere as well. Illinois, Chicago is separate from Illinois. Just ask my listeners who live there. They'll tell you that. Plus, we're across 99.1 FM, 99.1 FM, WQEE The Key, home of Southern sports, inspirational talk, and more. The YouTube page. And to my haters, listen up to this. Oh, I'm the man around here, whether they like it or not. That's right, 11 minutes past the hour, 70 degrees out there under cloudy skies. Temperatures are hitting right at the right times. 71 Atlanta, 72 Auburn. Your time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, gooey things at all. Michael the Crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. One of my favorite days of the week is True Crime Thursday. Our guest, Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast, joins us in the final period. She and I are going to talk about some unsolved homicides. That's right. We'll say hello to our listeners momentarily. But first, I got to tell you what our big plans throughout the morning, besides having Courtney, we're going to talk about some of the trending stories that you can read for yourself on the WQEE page, Facebook page, as well as we're going to talk about a fifth unidentified body was located Wednesday after the sinking of that super yacht near Italy we talked about. We'll get you some true crime news, including a Georgia man has been behind bars for murdering and sexual assault of a woman. And then we'll tell you about a man that decided that he didn't want to pay his, now this could be our dumb crook. He didn't want to pay his child support. It was so far behind. He decided to utilize somebody's login credits, a doctor, to go ahead and listen up to this, guys. he faked his own death. He's behind bars for about a certain amount of time. We'll tell you how that goes. Doc Brown, we've been waiting for you. I have not forgot about you on this. I just am trying to figure out how to get it over to you and everything. But good morning, Doc Brown. Well, we'll talk all about that coming up this morning. Doc Brown from Australia, down under, the Patriot, my good friend. And our elder statesman, Martin, is in the house. Martin M., Adventure Man, dun, 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 formerly known as Noble Scrolling Traveler. Now is Adventure Man. Warrior Defenders, a.k.a. H.D. Reese, the host of the Monday program from 10:30 to 11, known as Empower Strikes Back. She is on. Christopher, good morning to you, my brother. Thank you for being with us. TYD, he loves some true crime, and he's ready for some hockey. Oh, yes, me too. Hopefully I got some good news on that front coming up after today. Also, Little Z says, good morning, night, afternoon, everyone from England is on with us. So there you go. Good morning to everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, and good night. If I don't see you again, guess what? A good day. Yep, there you go. All right. Well, we got a lot of stuff to get into this morning. It's True Crime Thursday. Which of these new true crime documentaries will you be checking out? American Murderer. It's about Lacey Peterson. I had to put Scott Peterson beside the name because he's the one that was considered the murderer because Lacey's dead. I didn't want any, but it's called American Murderer, Lacey Peterson on Netflix, 25% of the votes. Andrew Tate, Icon Are Toxic is the name of that one. I believe that is on, let me take a look at that, Max to the stream. Also on Max is Taken Together, Elizabeth and Lyric, two cousins that were disappeared and kidnapped in 2012, and any other ones that they're going to be investigating, brand new ones coming out. Check those out, ladies and gentlemen. Check them out. So 50% going to others, 0 for the Taken Together, 25% for Andrew Tate, Icon Are Taken, and American Murderer, Lacey Peterson. We had to put beside it Scott Peterson in the field, so you know that's who it was, 25%. Could have said just the Petersons, but you know. And I've watched that one. I'll tell you more about it in just a few. That was good, right? Almost like Good Morning Vietnam. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. And this, Doc Brown, I have not forgot about you on that painting. It's still yours. Nobody else is getting it. I just have not been able to get it over to you. It's been so busy on my end. I've been trying to figure out how to get it to you and everything. And I just want you to know I have not forgot you. Don't think I have. I do have an email, 99classicrock@gmail.com. Send that over to me. I just got to figure out how to get it over to you. No problem. I just got to go up to the post office too, which is right around the corner from me. So 12, it says I picked other. Now we're appealing at this time. None were appealing at this time. None of the others were appealing at this time is what he's saying. He picked 12. Oh, okay. No problem. I'm sorry. I didn't get it to you in time. It makes the background. I can always put something else up. But we'll get with you on it. But I'm glad you're here with me. I'm glad you're here with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot going on. It's a True Crime Thursday. 12 says none of them were appealing to him. So yeah. If the painting wasn't there, it would be different. It would be different, wouldn't it? Be unique. A whole lot different, right? No problem, Doc Brown. I appreciate it, sister. But if you do want it, let me know. We'll figure a way to get it to you. It's just been so much going on. And not that I don't appreciate the purchase of it. It's just been so much going on. Put up pictures of you and the rock bands you were in, says Warrior Defenders. Yeah. You want to see the even more hippiness? Yeah. Back when I was real young. Shoot. That might sell some advertising. I don't know. Ladies might like that. Martin knows about them being in them bands back in it. I'm just kidding. There you go. Not a bad idea, actual Warrior. There you go. Yeah, I like that. I would do that. I haven't heard anything about him, Doc Brown, or what he's been doing at all. If it's who I think it is, I think he is over in TNA wrestling right now as a color commentator. Oh, you're talking about, okay, I see. I know you're talking about. You're talking about Logan Paul Jr. Okay. Yeah, he's been in the chat off and on. He got in trouble. So he had to do what mom and daddy said for a while. He just had his birthday this past week. So he's 13 now. And little Z's having her birthday on Saturday. Woohoo, party. There you go. I was hearing people saying, I appreciate so many people talking about how they respect the radio station and stuff like that, and not saying words and stuff on the station. And I appreciate that and everything. I appreciate everybody. I really do that's been telling me that and been doing that, respecting the station. You know, the big thing is the reason I like to do this because we got a lot of kids listening in the mornings. And, you know, I know it's the parents' job to tell the kids what to watch and not to watch and to watch things. And well, if I'm going to be on the internet and I'm going to be all over worldwide and everything, I think it's my responsibility to be responsible on the air. That's where people don't get. It gets the difference between me and everybody else. If I'm on the air, I feel like I'm responsible for what I'm saying. So there you go. But I appreciate everybody's that's been telling me, that's been working with me and everything. They're being very respectful to the station. I just look out for the kids. It's just, I got kids, grandkids that young too, and even younger. And I'm like, you know, this is the way you got to talk. Even though I'm an adult, you still have to talk a certain way. Thank you very much, Doc Brown. I appreciate it. CDC's job. CDC's job. I so get it. Thank you, 12. Who's CDC? Bali's on with us, my brother from New York. That's originally from the other across the country. Knows all the stuff that's going on in India. I'm sitting here in my brand new electric deluxe Kleiner. Oh, you lucky little son of a gun, Martin. Oh, $1,500 fines. Yes, from the FCC. Yeah. But I've always been on good terms. I've been one of the few broadcasters that's always been on good terms with the FCC because, you know, they allow me to be me and do my thing and have a good time as long as I don't do certain things that will cost a station I work for a license or cost money for me. They're like, hey, this guy's all right, fine. Say whatever you want to say, buddy. Just don't cuss. Oh, okay. You mean, okay, all right. CDC, FCC, same difference, Patriot. It's all the same. They're all some kind of government operation, right? All right, guys, let's do this right quick. I want to give you some headlines that you can read for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, Texas federal judge blocks FTC's non-compete clause ban. That's the FTC, not the FCC. Arizona Supreme Court keeps abortion amendment on their ballot. Estimation of an annual U.S. jobs growth cut from 881,000 to 2.1 million. Border officials have confiscated 92K rounds of high caliber ammo on a tour bus bound for Mexico. That wasn't the band I was in, I promise that. Those are some of the headline news for you this morning. We'll talk about this Derek Chavez in just a few moments because it's going to go in with another story I got. But a fifth unidentified body was located Wednesday after 4 others inside a super yacht that sank off the island coast of Italy nearly 2 days ago. Has capsized during a storm as divers continue to go for remains of the latest passengers. We told you the other day that some major people with Morgan Stanley has been called missing along with their family members. So we'll keep you abreast of what's going on with this super yacht. It is, wow, a sinking storm. This is probably one of the worst since the Titanic in a way, except for it's not as big as the Titanic because it's just all rich people that got lost. And then they also had a chef that they said rescuers, I can tell you this, rescuers racing to find more of the people, 6 people missing from a super yacht that sank off the coast of Italy was underwater vehicles they started using. And they found the chef identified as Riccardo Thomas. The chef on the ship was recovered. I think the super yacht is suspicious as blankety blank. Yes, it is. There's something that went on there. I don't know what's going on that it's unique. There's a lot of rich people was on there. The chef dies, and I didn't want the chef to die. I mean, come on. I'm just kidding. I don't want anybody to die, so that's just me. Even the one person I don't like in this world, and it's nobody any of you guys know. Somebody ain't even got anything to do with anything that you would even know. But, hey, even have one person I don't like, I wouldn't wish that on. You're like, Ryan, you don't like one person? I know. That's what's keeping me here, right? Have one person. I'm like, how could Ryan? He likes everybody. I tried to. I do like everybody but one person. Hey, I don't even get mad at people that I have disagreements with in the family. I don't even hate them. Just disagree. Yeah, one person I don't like. You guys got to pray for me on that. Anyway, I think he disappeared to Mexico and make it look like an accident. Here we go. That's a good thought, Doc Brown. She thinks that wasn't it a guy from Morgan Stanley? He was like an international chairperson. She thinks that he might have disappeared to Mexico. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, it's not like we haven't seen that in movies, and some movies are loosely based on the truth. So I'm not going to disagree on that, Doc Brown. Just take your old engine in a regular Walmart boat and make a yacht, says Bolly. The major says, Davy Jones Lockers. This is why I joined the Army, not the Navy. The ocean is scared the blank out of me. The poo-poo, I'm going to say. He said the S word. But you can read it on the page there. Scares the bleep, 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 bleep. There's my beep. It scares the bleep, 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 bleep. There you go, guys. Yeah. Does waterway accidents like Ryan does waterway accidents like roadway accidents? Yes. Definitely what's happening. That makes a lot of sense, Doc. Sounds a little far-fetched, but hey, that's what 12 says. Sounds a little far-fetched, but hey, those rich people will disappear in a minute. If it was us guys, we'd all be dead like the poor chef. Sacrificed them poor chefs like they did to Titanic, according to my friend Randy Rocket Cody. Bam! Dude's like, bam! Bam! I'm over here making food, and all of a sudden things start singing like, what the heck's going on? I'm going to die because this rich man wants to run off to Mexico? And he could have been the only one to run off and sunk the ship, like you said, Doc Brown, and killed everybody. Now, but yes, especially in storms. Hey, there you go. Oh, man. Yeah, you never know. One Life Man says they have technology to go to the moon, but I can't fully explore the ocean. There you go. That's what I say too, One Life Man. And look, I'm going to tell you, I've always thought that all the particular animals out there in the ocean, all the particular mammals, all the particular unknown creatures, let's say unknown creatures out there, people could say some of them are monsters and stuff when they're all creatures that we've never discovered. I remember stories of in the 1800s of shipmates being wrecked by giant monsters with tentacles. That was just octopus. So we know them as octopus today. Back then, they probably didn't know what it was. It probably looked like a monster to them. The Patriot says, Doc Brown, I'm the only one who said, they say on TV, PG. If I called it in, I'd get it G. G rating. Woohoo! Martin says, they said the Titanic was sunk by a torpedo because there were 4 passengers that would not join the Federal Reserve. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. It was a very unique situation. I don't believe it just hit an iceberg. It's kind of hard. I mean, it's an easy convenience to say that, guys, because it was out there in the middle of frozen ocean. It's easy, but I don't know. Doc Brown saying, and thank you, Little Z, for your prayers. I appreciate you, sister. She says, I'm always keep it G rated because I'm not old enough yet. We try to keep it G rated for you too, my friend. Pedro says, I like when Ryan says, beep, 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 beep. Also, yeah, it's so much more fun to do that because you actually know what word is supposed to be said, but it makes it more fun to go, yeah, just more fun. I've always kind of liked that. I always kind of liked the beeping out on the shows and everything. I always thought it was kind of fun and everything. What is your opinion on Andrew Tate? He seems like a pretty nice murderer. I'll get into that a little later. That's a good question. Thank you, Jessica, for joining us. They were asking about you yesterday, Jessica. Martin was. He said, where's Jessica at today? Doc Brown says, I'm undecided. Me too. I can kind of agree with that. But guys, I did check out before we go to the break. I did check out American Murderer, the Lacey Peterson story. I put Scott Peterson in there because he's the one that was accused of the actual murder and everything. But they're actually looking at more of the evidence again. And this story is basically from Lacey's family, his family, and everybody. And a lot of them, even on her family and friends' side, are like, it doesn't add up. So it's kind of weird that they're thinking it don't add up. Wow. So there you go. There you go. We're going to take a break, and I'll get into the Andrew Tate thing later on. Yeah, before we get in, our great guest, Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast, joins us the final period. I've got some true crime news I want to jump into through the morning, so we will be doing all of that because it's True Crime Thursday. And our daily dumbest of the day, or I like to call the dumb crook of the day, we're going to talk about a man who faked his own death so that he didn't have to pay his back pay of his child support. Back in a moment. You're in lockdown. Stay with us. We're going to put you in the penalty box for safekeeping. So he's using the name of Jesus to say, yeah, I know. He's an idiot, isn't he, Bob? That's all I say. So many people use Jesus' name in their stupid, ignorant ways. Murderer. Good morning, Martin. Jessica, sorry, Martin. Jessica, you know you're part of the family now when you start messing with everybody. Our good friend Jessica from in California. California knows how to party. California. Human trafficking, he's a loser. Yeah, that's who I thought it was when they were doing it on it. True crime. They just need to bring him in and throw him in with a big old fella named Bubba. And go, you sure do got a pretty head there, Andrew. Mm-hmm. Glad everybody. Hey, you drove I didn't drive the car this morning. Whose car did you see out there? I'll play my banjo for a sec, Ryan. There you go. Andrew Tate, come all over here and meet the boys in the South. You human trafficking. Play it for him. I get one of them big old boys, the long beards, the overalls. Here you go. Look like Hillbilly Jim. Your name's Andrew Tate. And that's not my car with Patrick on the bumper. They are, Jessica. And that's why we'll put them out in the woods. Jail's not good enough for them. They need to be put up there with them mountain boys. They'll never return. What's up, Captain Hot Buns?
Where I play all vinyl 45s. You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM in Georgia.
Oh, yeah. I'm Saved by the Bell too. Sorry, come on out of the penalty box, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Doc Brown's on with us as well as Captain Hot Buns, the Patriot. Yeah. Martin, the elder statesman. Our sister Jessica from California knows how to party. That's the song I always think of. Even though there's plenty more of them, like California Girls and so many other ones, but every time I think California, I think of that song from what was his name, Tupac, for you. Oh wow. I don't understand why people always block people anyway. That's right, you're from LA, sister. One of them, California knows how to party. Little Z's in the house from England. It's afternoon time there. She's watching this afternoon. A few more days away, the young lady becomes a 15. And 15, wow. I remember those days many, many moons ago. Enjoy your youth, sister. Enjoy your youth, sister. 12 says, what's up? You want to know about the guy with the child support tricking some woman? Hey, when it comes to child support, it can be tricky. Some women are just wrong. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. You asked me about Andrew Tate after looking back up and knowing who I knew who he was, because it's one of our poll questions. Jump in this before we do anything. Our poll question this morning: which of these new true crime documentaries will you be checking out? I checked out American Murderer, the Lacey Peterson story about Scott Peterson. That's 21% of the votes. Together Taken, Elizabeth and Lyric, two young cousins taken many years ago back in 2012. 0% of the votes. Any other new documentaries you guys want to check out? 43% of the votes. And Andrew Tate, Icon or Toxic, 36% of the votes. That's what it's about. His home was raided in Romania for human trafficking and new allegations against this man. The 37-year-old Andrew Tate and his brother, Tristan, 36, were arrested in 2022, along with a Romanian woman. And there was a big raid in their house. I think he's totally disgusting and destructive of the world, and I'm glad they caught him. You know, they're going to put him in jail and everything, but if they just put him up there in the mountains with them mountain men, you probably won't have to worry about him anymore. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. All right, we're going to move on. Well, you always have an opinion here, Jessica, sister. Don't worry about it. Everybody does. This is the straight edge independent skeptic. The only thing that I believe is that Bible. Everything else has to be proven to me. I was talking good about all you guys yesterday. So before we get into the page, I want to tell all my listeners, I was talking good about you guys today. I said, you know what? I got the best listening audience in the world. And they're like, why do you say that? They're diverse. There's different points of view from different parts of the world. And I said, they don't really argue the way you see other people do. Oh, Molly says, Jessica, we love the Democrats. We're not Ben Shapiro. You don't like Ben Shapiro. I don't really care for him either. Somebody might come get me for doing that. Remember back in the day when Rush Limbaugh, the only thing he ever said was, hey, let me go ahead and tell you something. Remember back in the day when, radio personalities that were conservative or liberal would just give opinions and it wasn't all about, conspiracy theories? I remember the good old days of Rush Limbaugh and Al Franklin. Uh-oh. No left. All right. This ain't hokey pokey, hokey pokey, hokey pokey. I'm Ben Shapiro. I make a lot of money off of him, and that's the way Ben Shapiro talks. How you guys doing? Last night I was trying to make a piece of toast, and I put it in a toaster, and the toaster oven did not cook it, and everything. I'm sorry, Patriot. Don't get mad at me. I had to pick on him. CDP, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good morning. Ryan is the best radio host in the planet. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Oh, Lord. These guys shouldn't put themselves out there for me to make fun of. So none of them should put themselves out there for me to make fun of. All I can do is try to call them, cuss me out off the air, guys. You know that? I know you can. I was just picking. I didn't want you. I know you guys don't care, but I was just letting you know. My brother Bolly brought it up. Now he's kind of unique on either side. Bolly, you hear about RFK maybe dropping out, and I think he's going to support the former president. I heard that's coming pretty soon. You had a fire drill this morning. What? What? Are you in school, Pete? Fire drill. I'm just kidding. All right, let's do a couple more headline news for you. It's True Crime Thursday, so a lot of it has to do with true crime. Who's conservative views? You're talking about Ben Shapiro? Yeah. I had a piece of toast last night. Yeah. Jessica, I don't know why you got a problem with my toast. Every time I try to toast it, it doesn't toast very well. I turn the heat up a little bit and still don't work. I had to return it to Walmart. And then they said I had to have a receipt. And when I told them I didn't have a receipt that I bought it here, they didn't believe me. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Sorry, guys. It's just easy to make fun of. Oh. I think the only one that doesn't care is like Alex Jones. He's like, hey, that's pretty funny, kid. You're pretty funny. Rest of them get all, Terry Banks making fun of us. He's making fun of us. Alex Jones is like, that's pretty funny, kid. That's pretty funny. I like you. Ooh, we got some disagreements in there. There you go. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Here's some headline news. All right, here we go. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chavez was transferred to low security federal prison on Tuesday in Texas. The 48-year-old who's serving 21 years after being convicted for murdering the man George Floyd, the gentleman George Floyd, and was stabbed 22 times by another prisoner while he was in prison in Arizona on November 24th, has moved to another place for a little bit low security. Speaking of that, one of the other guys that was involved in it that was just standing there, an ex Minneapolis police officer who was convicted in 2022, has been released from prison. His name's Thomas Lane. The 41-year-old served his time in a low security facility in Littleton, Colorado. He is the first of the 4 officers involved in the incident that finished his sentence. 2 of the other ones have got a couple of more years, like 4 or 5 years. I don't know how they're getting out of this so early. But Chavez has got 21 years. 21 years for murdering somebody. Most of you guys go to jail longer for not paying your taxes. Wow. Oh. Bolly says, I like Alex Jones. Sometimes you got to have fun. What's up, Crispies? How you doing? How you doing? I know it confuses everybody that Bolly likes some of these people and don't like some of these people, but that's what the everyday person is. Oh, there you go. You want to talk to me? Hey, you want to talk about gay frogs? That's all I used to talk about. But now, these kids today are crazy, man. They're lunatics. They're racist. I don't know what's wrong with them today. Oh, what's wrong with them? All I did was talk about gay frogs back in the day. Yes, remember the good old days when radio personalities and television personalities were just considered a little bit of out there and rebellious, but they were never hateful. Yes, bring those days back, please. You like the gay frogs? Is that what you do? I tell you what, you can go to Infowars.com and get the blue pill. If you get the blue pill, guys, it's going to put you to sleep, and your wife will be able to have fun with the gardener, because since you can't go all night long, he can. The red pill wakes you up and keeps you up all night long. It's kind of it's got a little meth in it. Go to Infowars.com. That's what Snoozemax has got you believing, Brother Martin, but it's not true. They're not all that way. Snooze Max just got you that way because they got to make money. I've been telling everybody for the last 8 to 9 years that everything on the internet, conspiracy nut stuff, and I'm not talking about normal stuff like JFK's murder, UFOs, Bigfoot, all that normal stuff that used to be considered conspiracy theories that was not dangerous to our society. But all the stuff now that says the person across the street that has a Bernie Sanders sign, which I don't like Bernie Sanders myself, but has a Bernie Sanders sign is ready to murder you. That's not true. They just don't have good taste in who they want to vote for. And I don't want to offend anybody who likes them. I'm just picking. I'm just trying to make a point. But I don't always think that they're out to like get each other. People are out to get each other. That's why I got you guys in here to show everybody you're not on the same page, but you don't want to hurt nobody. But I do miss Wrestling Limbaugh. And what's the other guy's name? Used to come on after him. It could be Al Franklin. Do miss the days when the disagreements were great and it wasn't about the other side wanting to kill each other. Hey, here's Nubs. Don't say that out loud, Nubs. They'll call you crazy, brother. They'll say you're crazy. He said both wings are diseased. Shoot the bird. Don't say that. They'll say you're the crazy one. He's crazy. He needs to really be in a mental hospital. Those guys that believe that don't trust none of the people in the government, they're crazy. I'm picking. I don't think you are, Nubs. I think you're normal, actually, brother. I'm more listening to you than other people. Anyway, Jessica says, I don't hate Trump, but he's not fit to be president. See, that's her opinion. That's fine. Yeah, Nubs, they're going to say you're crazy because you don't like either side. You better watch out. You're all right. You're fine in here with me. I agree with you. Not all people are bad. No. There's some that's out there trying to work hard, like the girl I'm going to have on Friday. Her name is Reagan Box tomorrow. She's a Republican representative for U.S. Congress. She's trying to do her part to give back. She's worked for many, many years with rodeos and horses and stuff like that. And she takes care of her family. She's trying to give back to her country. She's a good girl. We'll talk to her tomorrow. I know, right? Nub says, in a land of delusion, I will be happy to be merely crazy. I'm with you on that one. Me and you in that club together, brother. I love it when he comes on. Paulie said, but Trump's funny. He thinks he's funny. So there you go. And see, I'm loving there's no hate about this. Good morning, beautiful people, says Fufu. This is Fufu on with us this morning. She knows who she is. Like I said, I already know everything that's going on. I know it's just a bunch of make-believe conspiracy theorists on TV trying to get you to think that the world is coming to an end because you don't get the person you like. Hey, they used to call Alex Jones crazy for doing it, right? All right, and I'm not defending him or putting him down, but they called him crazy for doing it. Now the mainstream media is doing it all there. And Alex Jones is like, hey, wait a minute. You're the crazy lunatics. Why are you trying to copy what I used to tell? Fox News, Snooze Max, don't try to be like me. You're not good enough. Exactly. Tell him, Alex. You guys, I don't have a problem with him, really. I don't. I just like you doing his voice. Did have a problem with him what he did to that school and everything, saying that story. But other than that, I don't have a problem with it. We're having a good time. We the people are the government, says Nubs. There you go. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I think I think some of the ladies, and I can understand this, is ready for some women leadership. So, yeah, I can see that. God, gun, and guts. That's us. I like that. That's the one thing. It's coming up pretty soon. I can't wait for it. Tony Danza's the boss. I'm picking. No, so you don't think it's a debate? It's just going to be. Oh, okay. You know, actually, if they're going to have debates, this is my personal view. I think it should be like on News Nation, which is down the middle, which is really biased. I don't think it should be on any of the networks that are one side or the other because they're lying to both of their audiences, you know. They use the same stories, guys. I know. People just don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe it. I'm right, and the people I watch is right. But they use the exact same stories, but change the villains. On CNN, Trump's the villain. On Fox, Kamala's the villain. On Newsmax, everybody's the villain. On OAN, the lizard people are coming to get you. On MSNBC, they get mad because they can't talk against somebody getting shot at. Oh, I thought he should have got shot. Well, MSNBC, that's why we didn't want you on. So, you know, that's the truth. That's the truth about all of them. John, thank you. He says, I lived through Scott Peterson and watched everything on the news about it. I did too, brother. Now they're trying to give him a second chance. Now, it's called American Murderer on Netflix, but it's the Lacey Peterson story. I just put Scott Peterson in there because I didn't want people to get confused. She wasn't the murderer. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary, where you get the real truth. I tell you like it is. I'll tell you what you want to hear. This ain't Tucker Carlson or Anderson Cooper telling their audience lies. Oh, man. Good morning to you. Bolly says, I'm not clear on ideology, religion, nothing, just say it in. Oh, okay. All right. I don't know what to rolling. Oh, the OAN joke had you rolling. Yeah, they did. They are, they're in their mom's basement. If they were making enough money, that'd be fine, but Oh, we got some different things. Well, I'm not really into the taking people's guns away from them. But hey, if it's working in Australia, that is awesome. Awesome. So there you go. Bolly's like trying to change my audience is having a discussion. Bolly's like, look, can we talk about this over here? Religion's a little bit easier to talk about. Oh, Lord. I like the difference of opinion. Now, keep it respectful, by the way, guys. If you're in the feed with one another, please do. You're young lady. No, you're not that young, but you're young. Oh, well, I better not tell a lady she's not. You're young. I get in trouble for saying it wrong. Don't get me, Jessica. I didn't mean it like that. Ooh. All right, let's get into some true crime stuff. No place to hide here. Just save brush. I know, sister. You're way younger than me, sister. I'm not talking bad. I wasn't talking bad. I was trying to talk nice, and I said it wrong. I was trying to be respectful and say that, 37 is not young, but it's not old. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to do that. It just came out wrong. Forgive me. Never do that to a woman. Back in a moment. I wasn't meaning like that, my friend. Jessica, I wasn't meaning like that. Sorry. John, by 1 year, you and I are. Got it, bro. Debates would be boring if we're all the same opinions, Ryan. Yep, it would be. But that's not what I'm saying. Be respectful, but calling people communists is not when I don't, or calling people names, I should say, is not the proper way of doing it. But all these news media suck. They all suck. They're all lying. Like I said, they all take and have the same news story, but turn a different person. They have a different villain. All right, Jessica, thank you. Tiffany, Tiffany's on with us. Miss Tiffany Hunt, power. Boom, boom. You know, that could be true, Bali. I don't know. But he did do a lot of. See, I told you, Bali, he keeps it right down. He figures it out. He likes somebody, he don't like somebody to the. He's noticing what's going on. And none are like, they're lying. Oh, it is a dirty word. Communism is evil. That's Russia.
WQEE 99.1 FM, the key.
No, I ain't saying it's a dirty word. I'm just saying that calling somebody who believes different than you a communist, it doesn't work. And I'm not trying to be, I'm just trying to say that we got to learn how to discuss our differences and opinions without calling names. And thinking that I'm the only good guy and the other side is the bad guy, when in actual reality, that's not true. That's just what the mainstream media got people thinking. Jessica, I'm sure back in the day it seemed like that. I just never thought that people were. I never really. When people tell me they voted one side or the other, I remember the days when you could go to the ballot and everybody was on the ballot, no matter what side of the aisle they were on, right? Anybody remembers this? Some older people remember this. You can go in there, you had a Republican, representative, Democrat representative, independent, 500. There's like 5 different things you can vote for. You take a ballot, it was one ballot with everybody's name on, and you checked it. 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 If you want a Republican president or a Democratic sheriff or something, because the sheriff was your friend or you liked him, he was doing a good. That was just the way it used to be. I remember somebody telling me a few years ago, like, whatever happened to the ballots where you could choose both of them? Why you have to just have one? That's what a friend of mine said. That's what the old people said. You got over 400 pounds of rice. There's nothing wrong with having that. Amber, why? Who would think you were crazy for having all that food? Yeah, I saw that, John. I saw that about RFK. I said something about I asked, Bali. He was talking about him the whole time that he liked him. I told him, I said that earlier that he noticed that he dropped out and did that. There's nothing wrong with all that rice. I got a bunch of canned foods put up. Pictures, I get it, but a duck is a duck. Harris is a woke socialist. Well, how do we know that's what she is? Is that what Tucker Carlson said, or one of the people on the right said? How do we know, Patriots? That's my question. How do we know? You could dislike her for her beliefs, but what we call socialism in the Bible, God considers. When I hear people say you're supposed to go out and help everybody because it's Christian, that sounds socialist, doesn't it? We have so many conflicting views in this world on what things are just because the media makes millions of dollars off of it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that's how I see it. As a person who's been in the media for 25 years, I have saw so much crap and so much lies. I don't think you're a communist just because you are a liberal. Jessica, I do not agree with a lot of the stuff that they stand for, but I'm not going to think you're not an American.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing the air conditioner. But thankfully, there's HomeAdvisor. HomeAdvisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online.
Matthew, you probably need to get some laxative, and that'd help you out, brother. Hello, Craig from England. If I missed you, I'm sorry, brother. Get the reloading equipment in my guns and family. That's normal. That's what we do, and that's just called being normal, Amber. I don't know why people would think you were crazy for that. Tell them to come talk to me. Your sister thinks you're crazy. Tell her to call me. I'll tell her I don't think you're crazy. I think it's all right for people to prep and stuff if they want to. I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm just that kind of person. I don't see anything wrong with people and their thoughts. I think it's very smart to be prepared. Maybe I'm stupid for thinking that way. I don't know. Yeah, just trying to chill without dividing people. Ollie always has questions. No, it doesn't have no connection to the Bible, but here's the thing that you were asking about. Socialism, when you go and help somebody and you give everybody everything and you help people that are lesser than you, and that's what you're told to do, then somebody else is out here doing it that doesn't have my religious background that's doing it. They're called a socialist because they want to help somebody. I don't understand all of this. She claims it. I haven't heard her claim it, but her VP, I don't really like her VP candidate, the Walls guy. He didn't do anything when Minneapolis was burning down. So that was a problem I had with him. So. Well, Patriot, I love you, brother. But if you think all libs are communists, they think all people that are on the right are racist, and that's not true. I don't know of that many people on the right that are racist. Daily Bible verse, we'll get that in there for you. All right, Doc Brown, no problems. I hate to see you go. Socialism comes from Jewish nation. I hate they coming over there in what is it? Russia, yep. Doc Brown don't like to be in the argument, Jessica. As long as you're not saying something that will get Ryan in trouble, racist or calling for violence, we're allowed the First Amendment. Well, I don't think anybody in here is racist. So we don't have to worry about that. And violent, I don't think anybody's violent in here. So, yeah. John, I don't really think that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think any of y'all are. We'll have to get Randy's daily devotion, man. Thank you, Doc Brown, for being with us. Nubs, thank you to Randy. Patriot. Oh, not all libs are communists. Okay, thank you, brother. Thank you for saying that. All right. I'm just getting behind on the reading. So there you go. Zach, good morning to you. Zach said, hello again. I really tried to find you. So thank you, Zach. Randy. There you go. Now, see, right there, Martin, that's a point to bring up. When somebody brings up they feel like she hadn't done nothing the last couple of years, that's the point. And then Jessica can say, well, all right, let me tell you what she did. But yeah. Like I said, I don't think, yeah. Welcome back to RyanORadio Penitentiary, where the best light up in the business or listeners in the business, variety, and no hateful people here. Not like CNN and Fox try to pretend like everybody is. Or maybe I'm just blinded by the light that I think everybody's not that way. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't think all of you are that way. Oh. That's right, brother. You are the elder statesman. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. 78,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast Shout It Out Loud, the RyanORadio media page, Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and finally, we're across 99.1 FM, WQEE the Key, home of Southern Sports, Inspirational Talk, and more. We want to thank everybody for being with us this morning. We want to thank everybody for being with us this morning. Thank you for being with us as we're a part of this, guys, of a big, big morning. As we got coming up for you in the final period, it's Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast. We got another unsolved homicide, ladies and gentlemen. Got another homicide, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about. Who's violent towards you, Jessica? I hope not. Yeah. All right. We got her coming up. Which of these true crime documentaries will you be checking out? American Murder about Lacey Peterson, 17%. Andrew Tate, Icon or Toxic. He's toxic, 33%. Taken Together, Elizabeth and Lyric, two cousins, Young, 2012, 4% of the votes, and other, 46% of the votes. Good morning, Pepper. Thank you for joining us. Looks like Nubs and Randy are having a little feud on the page. Keep on, guys. I'm gonna put y'all in a cage. Keep on. We're gonna have a cage match here. Cage match. Patriots, you're still there, brother. Don't drop the soap, says. Yeah, we're in the penitentiary. Captain Alba says, don't drop the soap. He's in there laughing at everything. All right, guys, you don't drop the soap and everything. Don't drop the soap. We have a cage match in lockdown. Yes. Okay, we're gonna do the mandatory lockdown here in a minute because it's getting out of hand there in the feed. I'm just kidding. You're not getting out of hand. Oh, Lordy. Oh, we should. I love the difference of opinion. It's going well. Thank you, Martin, my elder statesman, for being on. Like, this, and I appreciate him. Patriot brother, don't leave. I hope he's still there. He's my brother from another mother. He's my Tennessee. I'm not in Tennessee, my Virginia brother. And the mountain's the safest place in the world. Lockdown. Nope. Bye. Nope. You're in lockdown. Oh, Patriot always goes to work and comes back at the end of the show. We love you, brother. We love every one of you. I love every one of you guys. I appreciate you being with us. It's True Crime Thursday. We're going to dive into some other true crime news stories as we get ready for our wonderful guest in the final period of Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast. Come on, Nubs. Don't be acting up in here, man. Look, hold on a minute. I got to do this before I get into anything. Jessica, my Los Angeles cool cat, who probably goes around downtown, has some cool stuff. She's my little, she's our liberal listener. And my brother Patriot, he's straight up on the other side. He is the Patriot. She tells him, he says he loves y'all to everybody. She says, love you too. Take care. See, CNN and Fox are not going to tell you that these people get along like this and have different opinions. I will. That's why they're going to keep bringing me down. Guys, I'll be, the government won't come get me. It'll be the news media come get me on Friday and they'll kidnap me and you'll never see me again. All because they said they loved one another. Man. Thank you, God. We'll pray over you this morning. God, thank you, God, for bringing people together with different points of view and different things and being able to tell one another and care about one another. I love this, God. Some of these people don't believe that I'm praying for you, but it doesn't matter. I'm praying for them as well. Thank you, God, for this feed. Amen. All right. Let's get back to fun. I couldn't give him a job. I couldn't pay that low of money, John. Oh! I mean, the company can barely afford me, but if he wanted to come in and intern, that'd be fine. I'm not bringing up the name on air, but John knows. I don't know if I want him on here. I'm sorry. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that, John. Not to you. Yeah, the media is going to replace me with Don Lemonhead. Oh. Well, what you'll do is you'll come find me and you'll save me, John. I'm not worried about it. You'll get your boys together and you'll come save me. We're going to go get Ryan. We're going to put him right back on the radio. They got a problem with it. Let's see. Listener Take Over P says there was an 80s movie about a radio DJ that someone went after. Yep. They always do that. Whenever you're liked by people and you bring people together, they come after you. And no, the government don't really care because they think I'm a nobody. So. But the media be like, he's taking our viewers from us. He's got 78,000 plus listeners. They'll turn around and tell you, oh, I'm not worried about it. But like John says, Don Lemon's looking for a job to come take over. Yeah, well, yeah, VP has to take over if the president goes down. I don't want that responsibility. Yeah, because I'm running for president. He's going to be my vice president. That's right. And I don't want that responsibility, Ryan. I'm going to make sure you're all right. Thank you, brother. Yeah, man, I just don't want that responsibility. I mean, I don't really care about anything else. I love it. I love it. Hey, that's the kind of listeners I got. That's why they're inmates in the lockdown with me this morning. All right, let's get into some true crime. 19 minutes past the hour. 19 minutes past the hour. It is currently 70 degrees under beautiful sunny skies out there. And sun's trying to come behind the clouds. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Mike on the crew can exterminate and lay the smackdown on you. Terry C., good morning. Good AM from Minnesota. Good morning to you, Terry C., my truck driving brother. One of the people I call a hero. Now, you guys were only called heroes in 2020, but before 2020, I always thought of you as heroes. And after 2020, COVID, you've always been heroes to me too. So there you go. Oh, no. We're talking about Ross Perot now, Patriot. Pepper says, I know that's right. All right, let's see. Jessica, I don't care about everyone. I think we need to have more. I do care about everyone. Okay, good. Oh, you were talking with Bali about the process of the immigrants. Okay. But you care. I'm glad you care about it. Everybody cares about everybody. That's good. I love it. 12, I'm always in the hole, says 12. It's probably the safest place to be in this morning. Sounds like, yeah, you're probably right, Ryan. Probably the safest place to be in this morning. after the morning we've had. 12, like, I'm going to stay down here and oh, man, it is safe. I'm just going to watch all you guys. Safer. You got it. Pepper says, I'm so glad I have you to listen to and you guys to laugh with. I always been able to work better in chaos. It's actually one of my gifts. I actually concentrate better. That's good to hear. Pete says, Terry, are you one of the I'm always seeing doing lives as they're driving? I don't know if he does that. He got on yesterday morning. He gave me a good idea. Patriot gave me an idea for this documentary that I am already put in some stuff for to see if I can get it start taken care of. I'll let you know as soon as I get to hit out on the road to start getting that done because I am going to do that. But he gave me a great idea yesterday, brother man did. And that's Strange Lot Lizard Stories. We're going to start adding notes for my truck drivers out there. and because that's going to be the coolest thing ever. All right, let's do these dumb crook news first of all. Oh, my goodness. Oh, hey. A 39-year-old London, Kentucky man from London, Kentucky will spend 6 years behind bars for using a physician's login credits to do one thing, fake his death. What's up, Mr. Dallas? Good morning, my fellow inmates, he says. So he wouldn't have to pay child support. August 20th, the judge sentenced Jesse to 81 months for computer fraud and identity theft. He confessed to faking his death because he was behind on his child support. That's one way to get out of your child support payments. I'm dead. I am dead. I can't pay them anymore. The doctor officially made me dead, Loretta. I am not ready. I am not paying you. He's from Kentucky. I don't care. One of them kids don't even look like me. He looks like the mailman. Actually, that one with the eyes going two different ways looks like my cousin. You want me to pay for all of them? Ain't no way I'm going to do that. We're in London, Kentucky. That's right, guy. I don't know how you got the doctor's credits. Well, the doctor's credits can log in and say, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Exactly. Exactly, John. You're talking about the Cat Williams scene. Well, this guy. No, he's not poor people living in clusters. They should get their child support, Jessica. This guy didn't want to pay it. It was back child support. It's London, Kentucky. Poor people, you were my buddy yesterday. Why you want to pick on me today? What'd I do to you, buddy? So should women. Yep, you're right. They should. Women and men both should pay their child support. But let me tell you something. This guy wanted to get out of it because he had back child support. And he's like, Judge, man, I know you're going to put me away, dude, but I'm just going to tell the truth, man. I mean, I didn't tell the truth when I, did all this stuff, but I'm going to tell you the truth now. I just didn't want to pay for them kids. I'm back, child logs. My job's not been going too well. I mean, actually, look at that kid with the eyes that go in two different directions. Looks more like my cousin Leroy than me. So I got Doc Sampson's logins and went in there and just said I was dead. The judge in London, Kentucky goes, boy, you're going to jail for 6 years. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Jessica says she don't really like Family Guys. Their jokes are not funny to her. Martin said child support don't support children. Jessica lines the court's pockets only in research. Wow, really? Jessica, both men and women should pay. Mr. Dallas says he believes it to be equal. They could make a super test tube, baby. I mean, the government can do anything. There's a lot of things they do we just don't know. I just usually don't get into all of them. But that makes a lot of sense. That could happen, Bob. Get busted. He used his ID to tell the officer. Got busted. He got busted because he used some doctor's ID. The problem is you can't. Here's the problem. you can't go say you're dead so you don't have to pay any more child support. And then your ex sees you out on the street. What is his name? Do we even have a name? Did I even put a name in here for him? I know he's got a name. Jesse. All right. She sees Jesse on. I thought Jesse was dead. Go Sour Patch Kids Blue Raspberry Zero Sugar Energy Drink has 1 carb and is better for you. I need to try that, John. Thank you, brother. Yeah, a lot of their jokes are a little out there. You're right, Jessica. There's some hateful jokes in there. I'm just trying to wake up with my monster there, John. John's like, hey, let's get into talking about your drink, brother. All right, we're going to take a break. We're done talking about old Jesse. Oh, good old Jesse. Good old Jesse from London, Kentucky. I didn't even know there was a London, Kentucky. Go there and say, hey, do you guys have a Big Ben? No, we don't have a Big Ben here. We got a Big Bubba. See the big clock up there? It's called Big Bubba. I'm not for that at all, Bali. You can't unalive yourself on paper, then go withdraw money from a bank. Exactly, John. The problem was the reason he got caught was because he probably continued living life normal after he said he died. And he probably kept in touch with his ex. Hey, look, I don't have to pay anymore. I'm dead. Well, Jesse, look. According to court records, I'm dead. According to doctor records, I'm dead. So I don't have to pay for these babies anymore. John and I, we just know, we just know some people because that's Kentucky, right? Ugh. Kentucky. The place that every Southern person's like, huh. Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana, everybody, Tennessee. They're like, oh, Kentucky. Ugh. You're not Southern. Get away from us. Your football team does no good. Get away. Your college football team no good. Get away from us. I'm picking, Terry. I'm messing with you, brother. Nice. I'm from Kentucky. No. You're not like that, Terry. No. I don't want to get bugged up. Well, at least I live there now. I'm originally. Oh, you're from North Carolina. Okay. Okay. All right. Fine. I thought you were saying you were born in Kentucky. You were born in North Carolina. That's fine. You're all right. Yeah. Terry C says, I'm living in Kentucky now. Yeah, man. I'm looking around like these people. What's wrong with them? Time to go back to North Carolina where regular good old boys live. Back in a moment. I almost thought I got in trouble with Terry C there for a minute. Making fun of Kentucky. He said, I'm from North Carolina. A minigun. I love the idea of that. You have to will everything to a friend you trust and let him give you the. Yeah, that's what he should have did was give all his money to a friend he trusted and everything. And if he wanted to stay dead, you're right, John. Bolly means Bollywood.
Sunday night, clear skies, low near 65, winds light and variable. Unless you're active weather forecast, brought to you by.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Well, tell Mrs. C that I'm not messing with her, though. I don't want her coming at me. That's true, John. I agree with you on that. If people are physically separated from that, I've got some buddies, females and males I know that's been done that way.
At Southern States Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your partners. Our team is deeply rooted in the community. We take pride in providing personalized service.
Pete says he wants a Sherman tank, but don't let him tell you a story. He's got one.
Check us out at SouthernStatesBank.net. Southern States Bank, your community, your bank.
All right, let's see.
Housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number
Get rid of
410.
this.
Hey there, folks. Looking for the top expert in Medicare, health insurance, and life insurance? Look no further than CP Financial. Big Sherman.
He says, shh, don't tell everybody.
Sherman works with multiple companies, ensuring you get the options tailored just for you. Why settle for less when you can have the best? 706-525.
Well, our guy that does all the signs around here rides around in a bucket truck that looks like it's made out of, it's a G.I. Joe looking thing. I didn't. If you can send me over information I can look into, I'll look into it for you, Bolly. See, that's another thing, Jessica. When they ask me to look into things, I look into it too. So if there's something you want me to look into, I'm happy to too. That's why we have a good conversation in here. All right, let's see here. Good morning, Clayton. Man, I got people send me emails this morning. I am watching through the feed. You're doing a fantastic job. I didn't want to get involved in the disagreement. Wasn't a disagreement, but I'll have to send them back a message. We appreciate that. All right, let's see. Oh.
Hello, everyone. This is DJ Commando of a 45's Affair radio show where I play all vinyl.
Here we go. We got some more true crime. I think he is from another planet. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. You're in lockdown with us this morning. We appreciate everybody being with us and staying with us. Now it's starting to get back to normal. I appreciate all you guys. We're doing True Crime Thursday this morning, American Murderer. Which of these true crime documentaries will you be checking out? American Murderer, the Lacey Peterson story, which I put Scott Peterson's name beside it so you know I knew he was the one that was accused of it. 18% of the votes. Andrew Tate, Icon are toxic. He's toxic. 32% of the votes. Taken Together, Elizabeth and Lyric, 4% of the votes. And Any Others got 46% of the votes this morning. All right, let's get it on here. Let's get it going. We're going to be talking about a case from Russia this morning with our friend, the Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast. The Academy Maniacs is what it's called. Woo-hoo. We're going across the pond into Russia, and we're going to talk a little bit about Nikita and a couple of other people, Artem and Nikita. We'll get into that this morning. Sherman tanks. Everybody's getting Sherman tanks. Yeah, everybody getting Sherman tanks. You say Tate's the new Muhammad. Ooh. Well, he can come over here. We're going to put him up there in North Georgia. Let's see here. Oh, I'm a little older, Jessica. I don't really like to tell my age. I wish I was 39. I'm older than that, but thank you for saying that. Thank you, Bolly, for saying I'm 39. I try to stay 25 all for the rest of my life, but you know, little bit. He's younger than me. Yeah, I'm younger than you, Pete, but I'm near 50. I hope it didn't offend you. I didn't tell you, Jessica. All right, I didn't want to tell that on the air. You know, Bolly's saying I'm 39. Thank you. Because Jessica says, how old are you, Ryan? I want to be 39. Pete says she's younger than me. That's right. Something around that. Yes, something like that, Jessica. Yes. Maybe one more year at it. Add one more year to that one. No, I'm not from there. From that. Nope, I'm not. Okay. But yes. So I am. Now you know that I'm older. There, Miss Jessica. All right, let's jump into it. More. We talked about this crazy guy here. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you saying I'm young there, Jessica. Thank you. It made me feel good about myself. Oh, we're old. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at a 63-year-old Albany, Georgia man is facing multiple charges for murder and allegedly sexual assault and beating a woman. His name was Jamal Jones. He attacked a woman by the name of Melissa Lowe on August 10th, and she spent 8 days in the hospital before she passed away and pulled off a life support. Wow. I'm glad he's behind bars and he's getting what he deserves. I don't know why people think they should take advantage of anybody. You know, I've always been against that. I don't understand. You know, I guess being the kind of person I am, I've never understood why a man would want to take advantage and do that. Obviously, if you can't find one, then you don't deserve one. Jamal Johnson, that's his name. Not anybody you may know, but it's from Georgia. Yeah, guys, I keep on trying to say, I never understood why guys would do that. Why they have to force themselves. Why they do that. If you're just not good looking, you don't deserve anybody. Oh, yes, I'm making fun of the scumbags of the earth like that. That's what I do. Terry, thank you, says, yeah, I don't look a day over 75. Thank you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. You make me feel good. 75 is a new 50. $75 is a new 50, Terry C. He says, I don't think they over 75. He's got to say that because his wife's standing in the room going, did he talk about Kentucky? You better get him. Oh, Lord. Martin says, hey, I'm 70 and I know I'm good looking, brother. Anyway, there you go. A 37-year-old man is in custody in Virginia. This one's for you, Pepper, in your area. And Patriot, after authorities found the suspect with remains of his 45-year-old missing wife last week in his backyard. Ugh. under concrete slabs. The woman's husband, Frederick Wrightington, was found guilty and arrested at the family's home, and he's going to be getting life in prison probably. Yeah. Frederick. Yeah, it'd been an older woman, and then he decided he didn't want her anymore. You know, if you decide you don't want somebody anymore, here's something easy. If you're married, go get a divorce. If you're just dating, say, get the heck out of my house. You don't have to bury them in your backyard and put a concrete slabs over the top of them. What is wrong with people? That's right. Jessica says it doesn't matter how you feel. If you're old, you're old. Accept it and move on. I'm out. Thanks, Jessica. You're making me feel good about myself. All right, we're going to take another break, guys. Back in a moment. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, wow. We got more true crime for you. Thank you, Amber, for laughing at me, too. I appreciate that. All the ladies just laughing at us. Cast out the demons in Jesus' name, says Martin. Hope I'm not on that trail. I hope you're not on that trail either, Pepper. When we come back, guys, we got more on the way, more true crime, and still to come this morning. True Crime Thursday, Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast joins us in the final period of play. Back in a moment.
Some sweet Southern rewards. Check out the Southern Rewards cashback account from Southern States Bank, where debit card transactions earn you cashback. With our Southern Rewards cashback account, you can earn up to $3.
Yeah, but they like ice cream, Jessica. I can tell you something right now. Thank God I'm not fell going down upstairs. Fell down going upstairs. Yeah. But I'm stumbling over my words now off there. Gray beard, leans, long legs, old as dirt, Terry. Terry only said that about me because his wife was sitting there saying, you better get him back to come Kentucky. So you saw what, Pete? Watching Black Cell is good. Is that a movie or a show? I remember there used to be a show called Black Cell.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton.
I watched that series years ago, Black Cells. Is it about pirates? Pete?
Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Is it about pirates?
Right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around.
I think it used to be on Stars years ago.
Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite
That's it. Yep. I remember that.
Cares for Kids is a Keller Williams Realty founded charity in which 100% of money raised goes directly to children in need in our area. Cares for Kids helps fund local organizations like Angel's House, Carolina Casa, Elevate, and more. Help Cares for Kids reach their mission of serving 1 million children. Call 678-634-9770 today to learn more on.
There you go, Terry. Terry says, I'm 59 and a sexy beast.
It's scorching hot out there, friends.
You notice how long it took him to get on there and say that, right? The wife, him and the wife had to take care of some business while after he.
Swing by for quick and easy drive-through pickup and check out
Jessica's sexy beast laugh out loud. Sometimes it's how you got to feel about yourself.
Stay healthy with water
Sometimes you got to feel good about yourself. What's up, King? How you doing this morning, brother?
You're listening to WQEE 99.1 FM, Noonan, Georgia.
I'm Victoria Cash, and I want to invite you to a place called Lucky Land, where you can play over 100 social casino-style games.
Good, King. Good. I'm glad to hear it, brother.
So what are you waiting for? The best way to discover your luck.
I am so glad to hear it.
LuckyLandSlots.com. That's LuckyLandSlots.com. And get lucky today.
Get lucky today. Okay.
VGW. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Wish they told us it shouldn't take a sickness.
Super villain. There you go.
After wrapping up their North American tour last week, the trio posted on social media that a new album titled One More Time Part 2 will be out next month. It will consist of 8 songs with the lead single All in My Head dropping Friday. The album will be out on September 6th. Beyonce recently received the second highest number of nominations at the People's Choice Country Music Awards. According to Billboard, the singer has 17 nominations, just 2 less than country star Zach Bryan. The first 2 singles from her album, Cowboy Carter, 16 Carriages, and Texas Hold'em, have both been nominated for the Female Song of 2024. She was also nominated for Dolly Parton's Jolene.
That's a different type of pirate, John. You're watching a different pirate show if you bring it out.
The award show was set for September 26th. New York City
I think you got the wrong.
and TV personality Mayor Eric Adams made an appearance on the Today Show and presented Roper with the key to the city on what was Roper's
I don't like attention from strangers. It's better to be old.
New Yorker thanked the mayor and called the honor really special. That's entertainment.
You don't like to have any attention, Jessica, from decent strangers, decent guys.
Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play with your board. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses.
And you're not old either.
What are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots.
Rambo 3, what?
And more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary.
Oh, a trained terrorist. Okay.
18 plus.
Pepper says my ears big. Woo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing you back in here, having a good time with our wonderful, fantastic listeners out here. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Still to come, Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast joins us in the final period. It's a True Crime Thursday. Tomorrow morning, we got Reagan Box, ladies and gentlemen. She's a U.S. representative for Congress. That's right. A lot of women power type programs on the network, too. We do that here at WQEE and the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Great women come on the show and have great opinions from next week, Wednesday. We'll have our good friend, Horrifying History's Brenda Gasky will join us next Wednesday morning. So good variety of programming on the morning show, and that's what people have been telling me. I had one guy, he just kind of acted like a negative nanny, as you would say. Now I'm going to let Patriot say other words for me. You take care of the non-PG words for me, Patriot. Captain Hot Buns and the rest of you. But I told the guy, I said, hey, you want to come on the show or do like a couple of minute information on, politics and stuff. And he's got a little feed and everything. And I was like, oh, sure. He says, I just can't talk very well, is what he tried to say. And I know he was being a little smart aleck and everything. And I was like, well, dude, I'm just trying to be open and equal to everybody's opinions here. And you just wanted to be a bit of a pirate, John? Anyway, you know what I mean, John. Yeah, I'm gonna use John's words on that one. But and then I told him, I said, well, most of the mainstream media can't speak very well either. He never responded back. Jessica says, how does Sylvester Stallone maintain his body like that? He's almost 80, I guess. Some men know how to take care of themselves. And he's got all those young daughters. That he's got to look like that. Have you seen his daughters? Oh man. He's gonna be like, hey yo, you can't be coming over here talking to my daughters like that. I'll tell you what, you want to date my daughter? You're gonna have to get in the boxing ring with me. Hey yo, Adrian, he wants my 3 daughters. Hey yo, Adrian, you think being a gangster's cool? Yeah, you think it's being cool? Adrian! Good morning, Cher. How you good? Good morning. Thank you for joining us from Iowa. You're one of the best. You know I'm one of the best. Say, Peppy Pie, good morning to you, young lady. How you doing this morning? Hey, yo, what you guys doing? You're listening to RyanORadio. Put a gentry. Yeah, Adrian, they want to date my daughters. You think being a gangster's cool? Your wife's in charge. She's the boss, John. Remember that. She's the boss. If you had to get your undivided attention to her, that's the right thing to do. What's up, Randall? My brother with a great taste in music. Thank you for joining us. Just because I'm working out, but nothing's working. Oh, come on. I bet you're working, doing well. There you go. Good morning, everybody. Don't blame me, Terry C. Says Martin. Good morning, Cher. Morning, all. John says, welcome back, Cher. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, Lord. She's doing her mini steppers and Pilates on a reformer at home. You go, Poopy Pie. I think you got, I don't remember whether it was a son or a daughter, but you got a child that's in school this week, right? Pepper says, yeah, talking about Stallone's daughters. They're gorgeous. I watched his reality show. He actually does, with another friend, tries to intimidate his daughter's boyfriends. It's funny. I know he's like, hey, yo, hey, Adrian, I'll tell you what. You think being a gangster's cool? Come on, you want to come over here and talk to my daughter? Don't make me knock you out. Get in the ring. Get in the ring. Okay, your daughter. That's right. You got a daughter. Yes, my girl is getting big. There you go. Martin says, I don't need to exercise because I'm leaning tall, baby. He didn't say the baby part. I just added that in there. Just add that in there for my brother. Can I have him on my radio show? I'll send some information to see if I can get him. You know, most of my audience would probably like that. If I did. But yeah. Old muscle. There you go, Martin. Pure old muscle. That's right, brother. Hard to be tough when you're 5'5" and 80 years old. It is. That's true, John. But Stallone pulls it off, don't he? I don't know. In the South, you could be 5'5" and 80 years old and be tough. Have you not seen some of them old men on the porches? They got... Boy, you coming up here on my porch? Now that's pretty tough. I never exercised and hated sweating until like 5 years ago. Oh, there you go. All right, we're going to take a break. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Old man's strength is a thing. It is a thing. It's true. I have so much respect for the elderly gentlemen, the older statesmen. I really do. Just because you may not agree 100% on everything don't mean you shouldn't have respect for people. That's why I call Martin, my elder statesman on here. It's called respect. Yeah, it can, Jessica. You're right. It can. Exercise can help your mental health too. That's a good thing. We need to look into a lot of mental health issues and help people. 12 is back on, or he's back talking. That's the life, just sitting, waiting on the porch for them. That's it. That's Southern, brother. That's Southern. Oh, man. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic for a Thursday morning.
Good.
So last week I had an appointment, so that's why we couldn't do last week. So
I wasn't even sure if it was last week because I don't even know what the dates were. So
it was.
I think it's this week.
It is this week. It was supposed to be this week, and because of the weeks, a lot of people got thrown off and everything, and I was going, it's this week, yeah.
Okay, good.
So we were right. We were right that. I just when you sent that message, I said, well, I better just let her know I won't be in there in the morning. And I got so many calls and emails about, where are you? On Thursday last week, I was like, sometimes, I'm sort of human. I'm not a robot. I have things I have to do.
Of course.
But my audience depends on me. So we're going to Russia this morning.
We are going to Russia this morning.
We'll get our tickets to go to Russia. So there you go. There we go. There you go. Getting that going there. Ooh-wee. Yeehaw, what's up? It's all going good, my brother. Thank you for joining us. You take care too, Jessica. We appreciate you being with us and being up early out there in Los Angeles and listening to us. You can always listen online at the stream and take us with you if you want to listen to, because we've got this great show coming up, True Crime Thursday. Courtney's coming up. So you guys get ready. There you go. Woo. I just love it. Just think, guys, you guys are going to be the ones to help me take the media back from everyone. What's up, Daniel? How you doing this morning, brother? He's just dropping by his wave. Hey, fire drill, people. No fire drills. There you go. All right. Whew. I cannot believe we're almost into September. Courtney, I can't believe we're almost into September.
I know. It's going too fast.
I know. This whole year is going too fast. It's like, wait, what's going on? We're almost in August. I feel like August just started last week. I do. I feel like it just started last week, and all of a sudden I'm like, it's time for you to come on the show. I'm like, that's getting close to the end of the month. I'm like, wow. Yeah.
Too fast.
Too fast. And then all the kids are back in school, and so all that's going on across the countries, and
oh yeah.
Christmas, Thanksgiving will be around the corner. It'll be Halloween, then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. We'll be sitting here talking about Halloween in a few months, we'll be having a Halloween story, and I'll be like, wait a minute, it's already Halloween, and then
I know.
then we'll be talking about Christmas and Thanksgiving, and you'll be getting prepared for your big family Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then I'll be getting nosy again, be asking all my guests, including you, what are you cooking for Thanksgiving? And that's,
I would know what people are cooking too.
yeah, me too. Well, everybody has a different traditions on Thanksgiving, so. And me, I might just decide to go by everybody's house and get a little something different.
There you go. Travel around.
Travel around and get it. Like you guys haven't. Oh, you're taking the turkey and you're putting it in the fryer. Okay, I'm coming over. Oh, you're having an Italian dinner? I'm there. Oh. Oh, would you say, Randall, about music? What's more enjoyable, folks? Oh, live music is much more enjoyable, Randall. Yes. Yeah, right, John. John says, feels like 4th of July was last week and Walmart is already setting up for Halloween.
It is.
Yeah.
You got back to school stuff in one aisle and then the next aisle is Halloween.
Yeah, I know. And very little back to school stuff is like, no, we don't want you buying anything for the kids to go back to school. Here's the Halloween costumes.
Who needs school supplies?
That's right. Who needs school supplies? When you can dress up as one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's funny how everything comes in circles. The kids now are loving Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all that stuff, Transformers and all that stuff again.
I know, yeah. It's like everything comes back around.
Next week will be Thanksgiving Isle. John says, yep. Poopy Pie, you made your kid your first homemade costume? We'll get into that too later when we get, look, that's a few months away, guys. September, yeah, it's not that long, is it, guys? Well, when we get close to it, I'll be asking you guys, what are you dressing your kids up for, guys? We'll be doing that. We'll find out what Courtney's going to dress up as when we get closer to that. Go as the girl from what is it, Law and Order?
Oh yeah, I see it's Olivia Benson.
There you go, Olivia. That's it. There you go. I can see that. Oh. Seems like winter's twice as long as summer, Martin. Well, you're in Washington State, buddy. So, like, Share is in Iowa. You guys get a longer winter, and then over in Wisconsin, man, you don't have it two months of summer there. Kind of like it. That's why I like where I live, guys, because we get all 4 seasons.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, really. We get all 4. I don't have to go from it being really hot to really cold. One day the sun is out, it's hot, and everybody's wearing shorts, and the next day it's snowing and everybody's wearing toboggans. Not here. Terry, see, you're going as Wednesday Addams? I'm just kidding. True Halloween has 3 nights, not 1, says Pete. Well, I don't know about all that, but you do. You have more knowledge on it than I do, Pete. I just know that right here in our downtown where I'm at, Courtney, there's 3 or 4 streets that shut off for the kids that go trick or treating, and it is the biggest night. It starts about 5:30 and goes all the way to 10 o'clock, and everybody decorates their houses up really big. Everything that's in Walmart right now is bought. Okay, everything you see in Walmart right now is going to be bought and put on somebody's lawn. And they're giving out candy, and they all dressing up. And I mean, it is a full night of fun. So they have a place for the kids just to go trick or treating where they can be safe here.
I love that. That's so cute.
And last year, I was walking up through there because I don't live too far. Around the corner from where I live is where it stops. So, of course, I didn't have to be involved in it, giving out all the candy. But I was up here doing something for the station. And I saw all the kids. Usually they dress the little ones up as kittens and stuff. One was dressed up as SpongeBob last year, and they were twins. One was dressed as SpongeBob, and the other one was Patrick.
That's adorable.
It was. Sheriff says I don't do Halloween. Yep, a lot of people don't. All right, we're getting ready to go on, guys. All right, welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got 78,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast. Shout it out loud. We're across the RyanORadio media page. Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and finally, 99.1 FM, WQEE the Key, home of Southern sports, inspirational talk, and more. As that includes us on the YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Let everybody know you're listening. Help a brother out, $sign RyanShelander, RyanShelander. Well, please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our guest this morning. She's the host and creator of the Book of the Dead podcast about true crime and more. Please welcome the one, the only, Courtney Liso. Good morning, Courtney.
Good morning.
How you doing on this Twisted Tuesday morning?
Good.
I mean Thursday. I'm sorry, Twisted Thursday morning.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yes, Thursday. I already set us back on Tuesday. I don't know what's wrong with me. The year's going by too fast is what it is for me, Courtney.
It really is.
Are you ready for Halloween? Because it's just like 2 weeks away.
Practically.
Almost, right? We got another month before it's time for that and everything. And then we got Thanksgiving around that corner. And then we got Christmas, which means everybody's got to start thinking about Christmas items. And that means you got to start thinking about what you're going to buy everybody, Courtney. But you got to remember, your best friend can be Amazon this year. You never know.
That's true.
Well, it's great to have you with us as always and everything. And it is True Crime Thursday. So our true crime poll question this morning is, which of these new true crime documentaries will you be checking out? The American Murderer, about Lacey Peterson's death, and Scott Peterson. Of course, they're looking into that again, getting 19% of the votes. I watched that 3-part series, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Tate, Icon or Toxic, 33% of the votes. Taken Together, the story of Elizabeth and Lyric, cousins that were kidnapped in 2012, and Other, with 44% of the votes. And I don't know why they want to be called. So, as I am going to ask Courtney this question, as I'm waiting for the phone to stop ringing. Don't understand why. That's the most irritating thing right there. Sorry. All right. The question for you this morning, it's going to keep on. Sorry. All right. The question for you this morning is, any of those documentaries are you interested in, or is there something new, true crime documentary, you may be interested in, Courtney?
Definitely the Scott Peterson one, but I'm like on the hill that I don't think he killed Lacey.
Right. Well, in that one, it's on Netflix, a 3-part series, and they talked to both sides of the family, his family, her family, and everything, and her friends. And to be honest with you, it doesn't seem like any of them, they're on the fence about him as well. Even the people that were against him at first.
Yeah, I from like day one, like I was pretty young when that happened, but as I got older and really started like looking into it, it was very, very interesting to me. I do not believe that he had anything to do with it. I believe he's guilty of being a terrible husband, but I do not think he was his wife.
Yep, that's what a lot of people are saying. He wasn't a good husband. He wasn't running around on his wife, and he knowingly right now, I kind of felt like that girl he was with, he was probably dating her all along while he was with his wife before her disappearance. But it's just strange, her disappearance and everything. Who do you think could have had something to do with it? I mean, that's the burning question. If Scott Peterson was not the man that did it, who could have had something to do with it?
I think because the day she died, or the day she went missing, there was a burglary across the street.
Okay.
And she apparently said something to the burglars, like, what are you doing? Like, she interrupted them in some way. And they ended up catching the burglar like a week later or something. And the first words out of his mouth before they could say anything to him was, I don't know anything about a pregnant lady. And it's like, no one said anything about a pregnant lady to you. No one said that. And the police actually lied and said that the burglary happened while she was missing. And all of the media crews that were there were like, no, it didn't, because we've been camped out here for over a week.
Right.
And this supposedly happened across the street. We would have seen something. Like, we would have seen that. So I think they thought it was Scott from the beginning. And then when they arrested this guy, instead of having to backtrack and say we were wrong, they just lied. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you get Netflix or something like that, you can check out this 3-part series on Lacey Peterson and everything. And I watched all 3 of them, and I learned a lot. Now, you know, you had the both side thoughts. You had the police detective that was involved in the case. He was on here being interviewed, and just looking at how many years ago this was and everything. And me sitting there thinking, this woman could still be alive today. Her child could be almost grown and everything. And just getting a background on this young lady. I mean, she was just a fun-loving, charismatic young lady. Her and her friends were just, you know, the typical teenage 80s, 90s girls, typical 90s girls, dancing around to the 90s music. So it just didn't seem, it just seemed unusual. And Scott just seemed like the type of guy that was like, I hate to say, he's just one of them guys that thought he could have all the women. I'm married, then I can have all the women. He just thought he was a stud. And I think what messed him up was the whole, I'm going to go golfing. No, I'm going to go fishing. You know, I think that's what really what messed him up, because he's telling some of the people he's going golfing and then he goes fishing instead because it was too cold. So that is what I think really kind of messed him up. I don't really think him having a girlfriend on the side, because I think most of them felt like that's what he would have did anyway.
Yeah.
That was the kind of guy he was. So I think that most of the family and friends in that situation and people around him just got, well, that's the kind of person he was. But what really messed him up, if he had told everybody the same story, you know. But then again, like you said, if he did not do it, he probably wouldn't think anything. Well, I'm going to go golfing. Now I'm changed my mind. I'm going fishing. You know, that's just the typical thing. If he came home and she'd have been home. But the weird thing was, he came home, ordered pizza, ate, and then called and said she was missing. That's where some people were having some, you know, thought process on. So,
yeah,
you know, I don't know. Maybe you'd come home, and if somebody was missing in your life, Courtney, be like, I'm hungry right now. I got to have my pizza before I call.
Well, see, like with me, like my husband works weird hours. Like,
right.
I think he's working, say, like 10 to 6. And
right.
He doesn't get home till 8. And it's not for any other reason, but he got stuck at work late. So
right.
for me, like if he was missing, like I would start worrying until like, you a couple hours later.
Right.
Because I expect him to work late.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. And that makes a lot of sense. I know it was on Christmas Eve. So you're by putting that together by your thoughts with your husband and so many other people that are married, maybe he did come home thinking, well, she was over at some friend's house hanging out. I left that morning. She walked the dog, la-di-da-di-da-di. She might, the dog got out or something. And, you would think properly, you would probably think, well, if the dog's in the backyard and somebody put it in there, well, the dog must have got out after Lacey left, so yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. So it's a very interesting take on it, and you should definitely check it out since you've been investigating into it for sure, Courtney. Let's jump into today's topic. We're going to head to Russia. We got our plane tickets. You guys in the penitentiary, Courtney and myself are going to fly to Russia to take a look at a case called this very unusual case from Russia. Let's talk about it, Courtney.
Yeah, this is a case that I spent forever researching because this is a case that no one talks about in America, like ever.
Wow.
One of the few podcasts that had actually covered it. But it's the Academy Maniac killers in Russia.
Wow.
And it's one of my favorites to talk about. No one knows about it.
Well, let's talk about the Academy Maniacs, who they were and everything like that. We got a couple of people we're going to talk about. So let's go ahead. Introduce everybody to the Academy Maniacs and the people that were a part of that.
All right. So the first person we have involved in this case is Artem Anupriev. And Artem was born in the Akademsko district of Irkutsk in November 4th, 1992. And that translates to the Academy. It's like a really small, district in this town. And everyone there is like a scientist or a scholar. It's like maybe 800 families live there. And Artem lived there with his mom, Nina, who raised him by herself. She was an accountant with an insurance company. And growing up, people thought he was a pretty good boy. He was, kind of solitary. He really didn't hang out with a lot of people, but he did pretty well in school. He was involved with extracurricular activities. Right. He had a band. But his mom, Nina, was kind of problematic. She would tell him that everyone in their town was beneath them. He was better than everybody. She was one of those parents that if you got a bad grade, she would write letters to the teachers and pressure them to change his grade because it was their fault if he got a bad grade. It wasn't Artem's, it was their fault. And in fact, when he was in high school, his physics teacher actually refused to teach him because she did not want to, or they did not want to deal with Nina. So at some point, he meets a boy named Nikita Litkin at a birthday party. And they were pretty young when they met, and Nikita was born on March 24th, 1993, and he also lived in the same town. He was also raised by a single mother named Marina, and he had a really volatile relationship with his dad. His dad was in and out of his life when it was convenient for him. And Marina was kind of a helicopter mom. She was always hovering, trying to see what Nikita was doing. And up until the 5th grade, Nikita did pretty well in school. But after the 5th grade, things really started to go downhill. The boys were mean to him. He was acting out a lot, just eating the walls. And it seemed like he was struggling a bit from depression. And that was probably because his mom worked at a shoe store. She worked 3 jobs. She wasn't as wealthy as the other kids in this area. So they meet and they click instantly. They have similar backgrounds. They both kind of have issues with society.
Right.
They're both very lonely. And Nikita, it seems really found comfort in Artem because
Right.
It was like they had similar personalities.
Oh,
So
wow.
they started spending like every day together. They had 2 bands going on. It was weird music that they were making. But
Wow.
you know, that's okay. Music doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. So that's how they met, was through music and having the same kind of, how you would say, rebellious background. They felt like they're outcasts, basically.
Yeah.
I can see that in Russia too, being as strict as that area is, and they, you know, playing rock and roll music is probably really rebellious over there. Even the Beatles is now. So, so that's kind of how they met. So, as they progress in their relationship with one another, what were they saying on social media? What was going on with them?
So they were really active on social media. In Russia, there is a website that's similar to like either Facebook or maybe like Reddit, where they have a lot of forums.
Mm-hmm.
And on one of the forums, they wrote some really disturbing things. And the name of the group or the forum that they were posting on was called "We Are Gods, We Decide Who Lives and Who Dies."
Ooh.
And there were 13 people in this group, and they were talking about like people like us don't just kill children. You
Wow.
know, we kill everybody. Killing fun. And they were saying how like people who kill are gods. Like they are above everyone. They have the power to decide who lives and who dies.
Oh man.
And Artem had started a conversation with another person in this group, and Artem was basically trying to convince him to like kill the janitor at his school. And this boy saying, "Well, what am I going to get out of doing that?" And Artem's kind of like making fun of him, like, "Well, you can't even kill a janitor. You know, you're not big enough to kill a janitor." And
Wow.
the guy's going, "Well, why would I do that and ruin my life?"
Exactly.
And Artem saying, "Well, it's training. You know, you're preparing your psyche, and you know, you're preparing for bigger things in life."
Wow. Well, how did Artem's personality evolve as he started getting older?
So Artem changed a lot as he got older. He was growing into a teenager.
Right.
In like 2008, 2009, he joined like a white power skinhead group.
Oh,
He wasn't very like active in it, but he did attend the Russian March in 2010, which is like an organized nationalist thing. And Artem tried to get Nikita to join with him, but Nikita wasn't allowed in because he made fun of like one of the group's idols or something like that. And it got to the point where even this group kicked out Artem because he hated everyone and he wanted, like, he was saying really terrible things about everyone. And this group was like, no. If we're going to hate like a group of people, we hate this group. We don't hate everybody.
Wow. What?
And one of the things that he started doing was he really started looking up to the chessboard killer, which was Alexander Pichushkin, whose goal was to kill 64 people, which is the number of squares on a chessboard.
Right.
Their other idols were the Ukrainian serial killers, the Dnipropetrovsk maniacs, who recorded their murders hoping to profit off of the videos.
Wow. This is just weird. They growing up, they're getting into heroes. Their heroes are serial killers and murderers and anything. You know, normal teenagers are looking up to, you know, whatever pop stars out there or rock stars out there or football stars out there. These two crazy cats, as I would say, are starting to evolve into murderers, which we're going to talk about after the break. When we'll take a break, we got more Courtney right after this. We're going to keep talking about the Academy Maniacs in just a few moments from Russia. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. More is on the way as the RyanORadio Penitentiary cruises on. We're going to take this short break. Back after this, we got more for you on this edition, True Crime Thursday edition of your favorite radio show, the RyanORadio Penitentiary. That name sounds like it could have been a name for a tag team match in tag team in wrestling.
Yep.
or a punk rock band.
Well, their band names were interesting. Like, their band names were really weird.
I'm sure they were in all that. If they were in all that white nationalist stuff, I'm sure they were.
Yeah, he was into some weird things. Like their one band name was called, I'm trying to remember. They had but like their first band was the Evil Dwarves, and then their other band was called the Dismembered Pugachev, and they talked about killing people in their music, which, I mean, that's music, that's one thing.
Right.
Then it spilled over.
That sounds about wow. That sounds about right. That sounds about like, I mean, when people get into that, most of the time people get into that, especially when they're in those bands, they're really not trying to be, they're not trying to be Nirvana or White Zombie or anybody like that. They just want, they're about the lifestyle of what they're in. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that's why so many people probably quit the bands over the years on them. Like, hey, dude, we want to be in a band. We don't want to be murderers.
Yeah.
I'm here to play drums. I want to be the next Dave Grohl. I don't want to be the next Charles Manson. Yeah, that's probably the thing. Let's see. Are we getting ready to come back? Welcome back into the RyanORadio Penitentiary, about 30 minutes past the hour. We got Courtney Liso from the Book of the Dead podcast with us this morning. Right now, we're going to get right back to it with Courtney, and we're going to talk more about the Academy Maniacs, which sounds like a good name for a band or a tag team, but it turned out to be something a lot worse than that, ladies and gentlemen, because this is True Crime Thursday. You know what that means. Courtney, we were talking a little bit. We're going to get into when they started, when and why they did start killing, but the bands and some of the names and some of the stuff that they were doing was very unique. You and I talked about off the air.
Yeah, they had two bands. And the first band they had was the Evil Dwarves.
Okay.
And their first album was Streets of Blood. And
wow.
They talked about killing and murdering people in their music, which, you know, music is subjective, so sure. And that band broke up, and then they started a band called the Dismembered Pugachev, which were similar in the sense that they made the exact same music. And it's probably no surprise as to why those bands didn't last very long.
I could see.
Besides the fact that Artem wasn't very good at playing as a team. He was
No.
good at playing with others.
He didn't seem like he was good playing with others either, being that he grew up with I'm better than everybody and probably the worst member of the band. But I mean, you look at those names, you think, okay, that's punk rock names, that's heavy metal names, that's albums. That's what you would hear in that world, but they took it a little too far. So let's talk about them going a little further than just doing, you know, heavy music on stage. When and why did they start killing?
So there's no clear answer as to why they started. I know know that Nikita was having a hard time. You know, by this point, he had been going to trade school. I think he went through 3 different trade schools by the time he just dropped out because the other students were mean to him, like he was being bullied, he wasn't performing well. And then Artem at this point is like in medical school.
Right. Wow.
Like could have been a doctor.
Wow.
But at some point, they decide in November of 2010 they're going to start hunting for victims. And I don't know if it's just something triggered this or if they woke up one day and went, you know what, we're going to see those dogs that we were talking about all these years and we're going to go kill people. And so they started from the state university all the way down in Academico, and they would just walk back and forth from 6 to 10 every night, and they were looking for a sacrifice until they found like the right person or their inner voice said, yep, that's the one. Wow. That's the one you need to kill. So they did this for a few days, just waiting for the right person. And on November 14th of 2010, they attacked an 18-year-old girl named Anastasia Markovskaya as she walked home from school, and they hit her in the head with a hammer. Now, thankfully, this girl survived.
Oh, good.
And they literally cracked her skull. But the Department of Internal Affairs in Urka refused to initiate criminal proceedings, basically because she wasn't robbed. They said, well, no one stole anything from you. Yes, you were attacked, but they didn't steal from you. So we're not going to investigate.
Wow. This is wow. So who were some of the other victims besides this young lady? I can't believe. Well, actually, I can believe this is Russia. Gosh, you know, the young lady. Well, they didn't steal anything from you, but they smashed your head in, and they did other things. But as long as you didn't get anything stolen, God, that just sounds sick. Well, who were some of the other victims?
So there were like 16 victims.
Oh my God.
They attacked another woman 10 days later, and they stole from her. So they started investigating, but the woman couldn't say anything about who attacked her because of the severity of her head injuries. Wow. Then 5 days later, on December 1st, another woman was attacked, but they were scared off before they could really hurt her. But that same day, 12-year-old Daniel Semyonov was found murdered. He had been hit in the head with a mallet and beaten with a baseball bat.
Oh my God.
And he had been stabbed with a penknife.
Wow.
He was found by his mother and his brother. And weirdly enough, when the paramedics came, no one thought that he was the victim of a murder. His parents didn't, the police, like literally no one. When this little boy was murdered, it was, I don't know what they thought, but they didn't go right to murder. 2 weeks later, the body of 69-year-old Olga Pirog was found near where Danielle had died. She was a researcher for solar and terrestrial physics, and she was stabbed 30 times. And this is the first time they took this seriously, the police took this seriously, was because she didn't have anything stolen from her.
Right.
Which didn't make sense. That she didn't have anything stolen, but she was killed. So now we're going to take it seriously.
Right.
And it seems as if the police really looked into this, but they were confused because it was clear that robbery wasn't the motive. Interestingly enough, around that time was that audio recordings were posted to that forum that contained discussions of Nikita and Artem planning to kill someone as well as the attack on Olga, but everyone in the group thought that the recordings were fake.
Right.
Because most of the people in this group were like teenagers.
Okay. Wow.
On the 29th, a woman named Inessa Svetlova was attacked, and they were scared away again. And then later that day, they attacked a coach for the local school, Yekaterina Karpova, who was pregnant, and she was walking down the street with her 6-year-old niece. Now, thankfully, the niece got away perfectly fine, and Nikita lived, and her baby was fine, because they were scared away because the car was driving by. And she immediately submitted a report. And this is what really threw the police into a panic, because now they're going, okay, way too many people are getting hurt.
Right.
They also learned that there are 2 people involved in that.
Okay.
3 days later, a homeless man was found with over 40 injuries and a broken skull. And he died in the hospital, but he never had any family. They didn't know who he was. He was in Russia, you're not a John Doe. You are labeled by your corpse.
Okay.
So he was identified as corpse number 20, which I hate everything about that.
Me too.
I don't like that.
I agree.
On the 30th, a man named Oleg Semyonov was on his way home from a nightclub when he was attacked, but he ended up sustaining a concussion and a traumatic brain injury. Now, around this time, Artem's acting really weird. Like, really, really weird. A lot of his neighbors were concerned he was involved in Nazism, which is probably true.
I can see
but
it.
He started yelling, like they could hear him screaming in his room, like, I hate everyone, I'm going to kill you. It was just very animalistic. He was like banging around.
Most of them are.
There were rumors that he was beating his mother. And after a while, people started visiting this apartment complex. They're like, we're going to stay away from the crazy boy.
Yeah.
We don't want anything to do with that. On February 3rd, an elderly woman was attacked, and she survived. And then on the 8th, another woman was attacked, but a car was driving by again, so this woman survived as well.
Right.
On the 21st, so all this is happening within like a couple of months in very quick succession.
Right.
A man named Alexander Maximov was attacked on his way home from the bar, and his body was later found. He had a broken jaw, a fractured skull. His killers attempted to gouge out his eyes, but they said due to a clear misunderstanding of human anatomy, they were unsuccessful in doing that.
God.
And then on February 27th, a woman named Nina Kuzmina was attacked by one person who they believed to be Nikita, and she was hit twice on the head, but because she was screaming, a man living next door looked out his window, and Nikita ran off, stealing the woman's phone. On March 11th, another homeless man named Roman Fazolino was found. He had been shot twice with an air rifle and had been beaten and stabbed multiple times. His hand had been cut off or had been cut as if someone was trying to remove it. And this man was found very close to Artem's apartment. So at this point, the police held a press conference.
Right.
Because everyone in the area is freaking out.
I'm sure.
And they say, we're doing round-the-clock patrols. Many residents offered ways to help, including Artem and Nikita, who went to this press conference and filmed the whole thing on their phone.
God. Wow. Well, how were they caught? That's the big question.
So they were caught in March. There were 2 more people attacked, and then in April there was the final murder, which is a 63-year-old homeless woman, and she sustained similar injuries. However, what happened after her death, or directly after her murder, was recorded by Artem and Nikita. Now, the next day, Nikita's uncle went to Nikita's home. Nikita had borrowed his camera.
Okay.
And he wanted it back. So So he says, hey, Marina, I'm here to get my camera, and she gives it to him. And he looks and sees that they recorded something on it. So, he's thinking, oh, maybe they did like a movie or something. Like, let's see what they were doing. And he watches this brutal murder of Alexina Codina, who was the homeless woman, the last woman they killed. And he doesn't call the police. He doesn't talk to Marina. He takes himself directly to the police department, hands the camera to police officer Maxim Kromyak, and tells him, I'm not saying a word until you watch what is on this camera.
Wow. Man, this is just, it's amazing that somebody in the family was able to get this camera back, that they did this recording there. And this is the stupidity of a lot of younger people. They like to record things and stuff. This is why the Charles Mansons of the world wasn't caught till later on. But what was the trial like for these two maniacs?
So they get arrested like immediately.
Amen.
Within half an hour, they were both in custody. Both confessed to all the murders and the attacks. So the investigation, or the trial, lasted until August of 2012.
Wow.
And they were asked if they, do you consider yourselves guilty? Are you remorseful? And they admit, yeah, we killed and attacked all these people, but we don't feel bad about it. Like, we thought we had to do this. This is what's right. We studied this ideology. It's true to us. And it seemed like they were really reveling in the attention because people were finally paying attention to them.
Right.
And they were giving psychological evaluations, and both of them were determined to be completely sane, completely aware of what they were doing. And Marina, during the trial, had like this profound guilt for what had happened. She was really cooperative with the investigation. She was still visiting her son really regularly. She was so guilty over what her son had done. And Nina, on the other hand, said during trial that, well, this isn't my problem. I don't know why you think I had anything to do with it, or like inflicted or instilled any negative ideology into my son.
Right.
And it's all Nikita's fault.
Wow. Blaming. Wow. That sounds about right, coming from this whole situation from the beginning. Well, what happened during trial and after the trial of these two maniacs? I'm just going to call them maniacs. I'm going to call them boys. So
yeah. So Artem said at trial that basically, had they not been caught, they would have continued doing this. He had plans to move to St. Petersburg and continue. And Nikita said, or had testified, that he wouldn't have done it alone. Artem and I did it together. I liked it. But Artem was 17 during this time. So Nikita was heavily influenced to cooperate with police because he was underage, and the sentence for his crimes would be less extreme if he cooperated because he was underage. Now, the whole time in court, they're literally in court in Russia, like you're kind of put in a cage in the gallery.
Right.
You're not allowed out.
Makes sense.
They have him in this cage. Everyone's saying terrible things to them. Nikita's freaking out. He's crying. Artem could care less. He's acting very cocky. And they find out that they could petition for release. But Artem himself claims that if he was released, like, he'd be totally fine. I'm not a danger to society. It's not going to affect anything. If I'm released on my own recognizance for the duration of the trial, I won't pressure anybody. I won't destroy, evidence. I have things to do. I'm studying to be a doctor.
Wow.
And
Right.
On August 14th, they were charged with 6 counts of murder, 9 counts of attempted murder, 3 property crimes, abuse of the bodies of the dead, organization of the extremist community, and robbery. And it was learned that during trial that Nikita was the first to attack the victim, and Artem was the first to be seen mocking the victim. And they presented as evidence almost 5 pages of posts that just Artem had made on social media of him just saying all of these terrible things that he did on the forum. Artem also took a page out of Ira Einhorn's book and cut himself across the throat and the stomach during court proceedings because he had to receive medical attention for this. But it doesn't seem like he did this because he wanted to die. He did this because I think he was bored.
I can believe it.
He was trying to liven things up a little bit.
Sounds like about him. He's crazy. Yeah. Somebody like that is.
Yeah, he's just
attention hog. Yeah.
So he ended up being sentenced to life in prison. And Nikita, because he was under the age of 18, was sentenced to 24 years, which was later mitigated to 20.
Okay.
And they were ordered to pay 2.75 million rubles to the victims and relatives of the victims for damages. And in April of 2014, Artem blamed the media for his imprisonment. It's all their fault that he was sentenced to prison. He doesn't agree with it. He's also allegedly working on a book.
Well, he's got to pay them victims somehow, right?
Yeah.
And got to work on a book to pay them somehow. So that makes sense there. Wow. Man, this one just, you know, it takes, when you got a cult type leader mindset with this one kid and the other kid's just a follower basically. And he is feeling bad about it, even though he was following it to me, I mean, I don't know what to say except for, you know, I don't really know what to say about these kids. I really don't know.
Even now, well, as late as 2017, he still did not care. He's studying law at the University of Latvia while he's in prison.
Wow.
And Nikita, it seems as if, had like a lot of self-reflection. And he wrote a really long letter basically expressing how sorry he was for everything that he had done. Even though his grandmother wrote an open letter to the public claiming that her grandson was the victim of social media and the internet. Okay, Grandma.
Yeah. Of course, that's Grandma. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this boy, at least he's taking his licks, and at least he's coming out and saying, hey, I'm sorry for what I did. I know I did wrong. The other guy, Artem, he thinks it was all right. It's all fine.
Yeah, and it seems as if Nikita really couldn't deal with the guilt. Because on December 1st, 2021, he was 28 years old, and they found his body in the special penal colony where he was carrying out his sentence. It was determined that he did commit suicide.
Oh man!
Most likely because he couldn't deal with the weight of what he had done to 16 people.
Well, I can tell you that. Wow. I can believe that. You know, and I feel bad that this kid met this evil person that influenced him to go in that direction. And now so what's the other guy doing? Is he still trying to make movies or something? Trying to be a doctor?
I think he's still trying to write a book.
Oh my goodness. It's all our fault.
He agreed to do interviews, specifically if it would help him fund this project where he would get money to write this book.
Right.
I actually read an article where the interviewer, she started as about their interview, and she ended up walking out of the interview. She's like, I'm helping you do this.
Yeah. Wow. Whew. Well, this one was a heavy one this morning, but it was one that we definitely needed to hear about. Courtney, tell us how we can follow you, what's coming up next for the Book of the Dead podcast, all of that good stuff, social media sites and everything, and, give us all the information and deets.
So you can find us literally everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn. We're like Book of the Dead podcast everywhere. You can also listen to the podcast literally everywhere. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, you name it, we're there. Or you can listen on our website, bottpod.com. And we just released an episode yesterday about a girl, a teenager that was murdered in England, Suzanne Capper. That was also a tough case. There are a lot of terrible things happening in England to this girl. So we covered that case yesterday. So that is up and available to listen to right now.
Sounds good. All right, guys, we're gonna let Courtney out on good behavior and let her get out and get ready for next month. Make sure you follow all social media sites for a Book of the Dead podcast and learn more about what's going on with Courtney and her co-host and everything. So we'll appreciate you being with us, Courtney. We're going to let you out on good behavior, and we'll talk to you again next month. Back in a moment. All right, that was another good one.
No one knows that one.
No, they don't. That now we know, and that's wow.
That was like the most when I covered this. I think I covered this over a year ago.
Right.
So the thing that most people said was like, "We've never heard of this case," or like, "This is the only podcast that I can actually listen to this case." Because literally no one covers it, and I think it's because it is hard to find sources. Because I literally have to translate everything from Russian to English.
Right.
But I get a lot of weird people about that case. A lot of weird people. I know there are people out there that idolize killers, but I didn't realize how much or how vigilant teenagers were until I did this case.
Wow.
Because even now, I still get people that I have to block on Instagram because they say weird things about idolizing Nikita and Artem on my Instagram, and it's gross and weird and it's uncomfortable.
Wow. People just messed up, Courtney. They just messed up. Wow. I mean, I grew up looking up to Metallica and Rob Zombie and Pantera. I mean, I would have never looking up Charles Manson or anything. So.
Exactly. It's weird. To this day, and I've covered this over a year ago. If you look on my Instagram, that is I think the two posts I did, because I had to break it up into two parts because there's so much information.
Right.
Was they're my most liked posts because I keep getting all of these weird teenage girls.
Wow.
It's weird, and I feel very icky.
I know. Oh my goodness. Oh. Wow. Teenagers are getting weird, and I thought we were weird.
It's really weird. Teenagers are really weird.
I know. Well, we'll definitely talk again next month when we don't talk before then or anything else. And you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, you guys hear that? Idolizing. Ooh. And I thought I was weird, just thinking Rob Zombie was cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, they've been possessed. Those girls, yeah. Good morning, Cher. Everybody on with us. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think Other wins the poll this morning. So go ahead and check that out. And coming in second place is Andrew Tate, the icon and toxic, 33%. American Murderer, the Lacey Peterson story, 20%. And Taken Together, Elizabeth and Lyric, 2%. Want to thank Courtney Liso for being with us this morning. Tomorrow morning on the show, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play Fake News Friday. The game is returning for all of you that's just tuning in for the first time. It is a brand new series for you, but for those of you that's been with us a while, you know how the game goes. We'll do that tomorrow morning. Other things going on in the headline news, and Reagan Box, from the representative for U.S. Senate, Republican representative for U.S. Senate, Reagan Box will join us tomorrow morning. We'll talk about her plans as she heads into trying to get elected and get the seat, U.S. Senate seat there. And she is trying to, some ideas she's got as she's looking towards the future. And we'll talk with her tomorrow morning on the show as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good God Almighty. You have a good day too, Martin. You guys have a great day too. That is the weirdest, most unusual questions we've had. Oh my goodness. That one right there, the Academy Maniacs. Wow. That one to me was wow. Wow. I really don't know what to say except wow. One more time. I don't know what to say, but wow. All right, we got to get ready to get out of here. The bell's ringing. It's right. Shut up and get out of there, boy. Get on down that robot. All right, we'll see you tomorrow on the TGIF Friday edition. We call it Fake News Friday edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Peace, love, respect. I'm out of here. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. If I don't see you again, have a good night. We'll see you on the flip side on Friday, the final show for this week coming up tomorrow. Stay tuned for Sustainable Brown Girl, Singled Out, and the Pet Buzz. We got the best sports lineup in the business from 12 to 5, the Rod Peterson Show, the Sports Beat, Richard Holdridge, and from 3 to 5, Braves Country Radio. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. We thank you for being with us. You guys have a great day. I appreciate each and every one of you for liking, subscribing, and sharing and keeping the feed going. That was a very interesting show. And I thank all of you guys for having your opinions with one another. I appreciate that. And everything. We're finally showing everybody that everybody's not what the mainstream media say you guys all are. They're going to come get me. I'm telling you guys. They're going to come get me. And I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about Anderson Cooper and Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro and Don Lemon. They're all going to come get me. You don't bring people together. Choke me like Homer Simpson chokes Bart. That's what they're going to do to me. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. Let's go ahead and see if I can get off of here. RFL.